Hello, myself Sunil Ramakrishnan Nair, and here basically we are discussing about the human resource topic. Up to what level the human resource group can basically plan? Plan means basically they assume that they got some task and they told that basically you have to handle this resource. You have to handle this resource. So how they handle the resource? Then they told that basically as the company basically tells to handle, according to that basically they handle. For example, they given resume to this company, that company, and that company, this company, those company. Then basically the company is basically telling that basically sorry, we can't accept the resume. There are basically certain reasons. So this information basically company also basically got that his blood cells was removed from the blood group's energy. The blood group basically has removed his data from the blood groups basically. So from blood group basically they have removed the data like this basically information they have got basically. So like this the information they got basically that this is the basically is the issue, then basically they got this type of problem. So we removed the blood group basically with the help of the injection basically. In this medical science also basically helped to remove that blood cells inside the blood group basically. And like this the main thing basically as the data was removed, they started tracking. They basically given the information to jasus group, detective agency. They were basically tracking his laptops, they were tracking his mobile, they were tracking his each and every mail, and this each and everything basically they started tracking, because this was actually one of the metrics actually which is going to generate one day when the universe is going to move to earth planet is going to move to particular location. That basically that group might not be knowing that. So like this basically they're tracking the laptops, each and everything basically they're tracking. They started tracking basically. So one of the person told that basically can we change the entire direction basically, because he seems to be very dangerous person. So they immediately changed the earth planet direction. Immediately just now. They basically told that basically we will change the immediate direction of the earth planet. So just now basically they changed the earth planet direction. So this was basically the connection between universe and earth planet. Then basically, but this type of thing basically in real basically this not happens. This is just a virtual story basically. In real basically this does not happen. So like this basically the human resource group basically told that his basically the blood data basically was removed from the blood group. Data was removed from the blood group basically. So human resource group basically told that his blood group's data was basically removed, and in this basically the set of groups basically was involved, and in this basically the main thing was basically that set of groups basically was controlling by the set of businessmen. So he told that basically this whole things basically was done by business for just for money purpose or some other purpose. They told that one person want to become the richest person, that's why basically each and every group basically jumped into this. So he told that entire basically Indian resource jumped into one basically to so that basically that person can become world's richest first one person basically. Then he told that yes basically. Like this basically everybody jumped. And this basically in this basically lots of people told that basically lots of people basically got HIV/AIDS. Lots of people they have done the Nasbandi also. I think lots of things basically they have done. And like this basically few people says that basically uh, boy was basically no was not having HIV/AIDS. Then basically forcefully the HIV/AIDS girl got the marriage, and like this basically before dying, basically girl the marriage has to happen. That's why basically the boy basically was sacrificed. Like this type of basically metrics also generate. Like this basically many metrics they generated because the somebody some of the pujari basically told him that basically we want this type of data. But basically pujari do this type of give tells that basically do marriage of that this particular person with HIV/AIDS girl. Pujaris basically do this type of activity. Then he told that basically he might not be pujari, basically he might be dhongi pujari. Then he told that dhongi pujari means those group basically who basically do the plan. They that group basically do up to this level plan also basically. They do up to this level plan also basically. So they told that for that basically from where they get the resources basically. So basically they are so perfect resources. Then they told that basically there are few Bollywood group basically who have created this type of resource also. And wherever this type of requirement is needed, then basically they send the people to their areas. So like this basically things are also very good. So just see basically up to what level the human resource data are connecting basically. Just up to what level the human data are connecting. Like this, then basically told that human resource group basically do up to this level bad task. Then basically they told that basically for money basically they people do any level task basically. Any level task basically they do. This HIV/AIDS given, they basically that was done by a human resource group basically. They were basically told that do this type, do the pick this particular resource and plan his HIV/AIDS girl marriage because requirement was there basically. They told that basically Earth planet is moving into this area, and so that's why basically the requirement is there. Then, but then basically one of the universe person basically asked that we've never told that this type of requirement we want basically. We never basically told that do the marriage of HIV/AIDS. Sorry, the boy is not having HIV/AIDS, and then basically do the marriage of HIV/AIDS with that girl, HIV/AIDS girl. This basically we never have told basically. You unnecessarily spoiling the name of the universe group basically. This they basically told, and then basically they given few earthquakes, and they told that basically don't do this again basically. Where basically the marriage was what happened, where the HIV/AIDS girl got the marriage, and like this, he was Nasbandi was done of that particular person. There basically they literally given 15-20 earthquakes. 15-20 earthquake basically they have. So like this, the basically literally given the earthquake. Then they told that basically don't do this again basically. Otherwise basically we will finish the entire area only basically. Then they told that basically every time basically they say that like this year plant was created, like this year land was created, like this year land was created. Like this they always gives the videos to that particular group who are basically handling the area. This is actually a real story of the one of the Mumbai city. But in this, basically, lots of big people were also involved. Lot of big businessmen basically was involved. But that basically name basically never comes into the picture because they are a big businessmen, and in this basically the government also basically supports them because government says that we basically have to save that person, save that businessman because they are paying the tax amount, and we are collecting the tax amount also, and we are doing lots of activities from the tax amount. So that's why basically we can't do anything to them basically. Then same that a businessman basically done some bad in the international level. That time basically due to that bad basically the third world war started. Then basically the tax group basically told that basically if I we have stopped this person just in India only that would be good. That was basically fine because this converted into third world war and how many people basically died, and in this basically India will be going to blame like this that each and everything basically. This is not basically real story, but the person basically who got the HIV/AIDS and husband, that is the real story. But in that basically the big businessman involved. the big people basically was involved, was not involved. That basically is the detective agencies task, basically how the detective agencies do the task. Then he told that basically detective agencies are basically of the rich people, basically for poor people basically they don't do any type of detective agencies. Then he told that basically let's basically this energy also keeps on generating. Then this one energy also basically generated in the sky. In the sky basically this energy also generated. And then basically the planets generated, galaxy generated, and more than 750 crore basically planets merged with energy. This energy basically HIV AIDS in Asbandi. Like this basically lots of things basically happen. Like this basically lots of things basically happen. Like this basically lots of things basically has happened. So like this basically the human resource group basically says that we are doing this type of task, but we are basically forcefully basically forcefully this task basically we are doing forcefully basically in the order of the certain group basically. That basically we sometimes we also don't know that basically the resource basically we are planning the uh, mm, uh, job to that particular area that basically is going to convert to HIV AIDS. So basically that we also don't know, but our managers and the so directors basically knows that this person basically is going to have one HIV AIDS girl, and like this basically things is going to generate. Like this basically this type of task also basically human resource do basically, but that basically is not an entire human resource do, because few the entire resource this is also like that basically the Bollywood group is entire Bollywood is not group one. Same way, basically, entire software industry is also not one basically. But few people says that basically in India, basically only 1% basically gives 1 or 2% only give the softwares to entire India software company. Then basically he told that yeah, you are correct. Yeah, that means it's a union. Then he told that yes, basically it's a union. So like this, basically human resources also one basically who basically gives the resource, who basically collects the resource for the particular projects. So in next part, basically we are going to discuss a little bit more about the human resource groups.